Yo, what's up guys, Ephixa19 here. Welcome back to another tier list video. For this video, we've got ourselves Instinct Volume, let me count, 4. We're on 4. I had to count it on my hand, but don't worry. I got some comments last video that the other one, the one previous, I believe it was Uncaged 6? Or no, it was Uncaged 7, sorry. It was a bit like rushed, didn't seem like I had that much effort into it, and I just felt like addressing that because I wanted to just be like, you know, this video I'm actually prepared for it. I know the last one, it was just kind of like I was already so late to making an opinion video, and people were, you know, at that point it was just kind of like I just want to get it out so that I have something. But anyways, for this video I made sure I've got everything ready, and I'm gonna try to give, I guess, a bit more insight. The reason why, I guess, in a sense, I was like speeding through all the songs last video was because I wanted to just kind of, at least with the ranking videos, one of my biggest things about it is just that it's a waste of time. I don't want to sit through somebody slowly going through all their songs, so I just thought, I'm gonna rapid fire through my opinions so that you guys don't have to sit here wasting your time like we are right now. And like the last ones, I'm gonna be premiering it, so hello all the live people. Oh yeah, the last video I completely missed my own premiere, so I wasn't even there for that, but this time I better be there for it, or if I'm not, I'm disappointed in myself. Anyways, let's get into it. So for the first song, we actually have Vicetone, which is, I believe, the first song that was released in chronological order right after Instinct Volume 3, and then the last song we have Offline, which was the last song of Instinct Volume 3. And yeah, I guess we'll just get started with Vicetone. So, sorry to Vicetone, they've just never really been one of the bigger picks, I guess. So I'm gonna actually just put them for E. It wasn't a bad song, but it's gotta be one of the songs that I've kind of forgotten about, don't really care much about. Next one we've got is Nitro Fun. As for Nitro Fun, I think Nitro Fun took an interesting take with this song. Wasn't really my cup of tea, so I'm actually gonna put it in E as well. There was nothing bad with it. I didn't dislike it, but again, it's, you know, if it came up while I was listening to some music, I wouldn't skip it, but I also wouldn't care for it, you know. Next up we got is Nonsense. This was I think Nonsense third track coming into Monstercat. I actually did like this song. I think I'm gonna actually put it for D for now. Actually, I'm gonna put it for C for now. We're gonna put it for C. I think C is a fair middle ground. Alright, so the next song we have is No Fear Anymore off of the EP from Julian Color. You know, I liked it. I do kind of feel like I remember with the last ranking, I've had a number of songs that I was like, I kind of didn't like as much because it was overplayed by the mix contest, and sadly No Fear Anymore happens to be one of those songs. I'm actually going to put it as a D because I do remember liking it at one point. I don't like it as much anymore, but I wouldn't put it as an E tier kind of song. So yeah, I'm going to put that right there. We have Potions, which is a fan favorite, especially with Set the Sky. It was also an ID for a very long time. I'm going to put it for a C track. Not my pick, not my highest tiered song, but I would say it's a good middle ground song. So we have two Cloud None songs to follow up. We've got Chasing Daylight, and we also have Lost and Found. So straight up, Chasing Daylight, S tier for me. We always got to have at least one S tier Cloud None song, and this ranking is no different. I really liked it. I felt the vocalist on it, I believe it was Slyleaf, correct me if I'm wrong, did an amazing job. Nice collaboration with Direct. Really great to see it. As for the collaboration with Matt Van, I wasn't really feeling it that much. Wouldn't put it S tier. I'm gonna probably put it for D tier, just like the last ranking where we had a Cloud None in S and F. I'm not gonna put the collaboration. I'm not gonna put Lost and Found for F tier, but I'm gonna put it for D tier, a bit above E tier. We've got Sundance. Straight up, I found it to be pretty boring. I felt like they went for a minimalist chill vibe, but in that process actually ended up affecting the quality of the song a lot. I'm gonna put it for E tier. I've heard a couple of Heartful songs, and I felt like, at least if this was supposed to be his debut, was a bit of a disappointing debut. So we'll see where Heartful can go from there if he's making a comeback. As for Ephixa, he had his amazing tracks on the 7-year, I believe we're on, no, 8-year anniversary tracks. So at least Ephixa had some other tracks going for him this year. Conroe's All I Want, I'm gonna put it for a D tier. All right, Conroe, great production, not really my kind of song. makes up for it in the other songs that we're going to get to a bit later on. But as for now, Conroe's All I Want, I'm probably just going to keep it at a D tier. Iobon's Medusa. Iobon is a bit of a mixed bag for me. I've had some S tier songs, some BC, and I would say I've had some DE songs. I'm going to have to say that at least with Medusa, I'm going to have to put it for D tier. Not a bad song. Again, just not really my most preferred song from him. I still gotta say that his collaboration with Rude Lies for Motivation was still my #1 song from Iobon. I don't remember if I put it as S tier, but I think I would be putting it as S tier. Crazy As You is a really odd combination, and I would say an odd song for Instinct in general. I know a lot of people were complaining about the rhythm. Was it rhythm snare or rhythm drum? I don't really know, but I know a lot of people found this song to be really, really weird. I do gotta say, I wish they put the acoustic on, not even just on Instinct, but they don't even have a download for it, like an official download on Monstercat Gold, and I wish they did because I love the acoustic so much more than this song. But I do gotta say that I do like this song. I'm actually gonna put it for a B tier for now. I feel like I might lower it, but for now, I found Crazy As You to be a memorable song, and for that, I'm gonna put it as a B tier. Rogue Let's Talk. I wouldn't say it was overplayed during the mix contest because Dan seemed to really like this song as an intermission track, but it was the staple for the mix contest, whether you liked it or not. I do like it. It was a very poppy song, something I could definitely imagine on the radio. I'm gonna put it as a C tier. I think it was a good song by Rogue, not necessarily my favorite from him, but it wasn't bad. I do like it. Kudos to Rogue. I do want to mention it before we go on. I'm kind of sad that the VIP from what's his name? Never Let Me Down by Darren Styles. I wish it made it onto Instinct, because that would be an instant S tier. I remember I said that in the Uncaged video last time. But for next, we have actually Slushy's Far Away. Gotta say, this might be an unpopular opinion. I really, really liked Far Away. I'm gonna actually put it for A tier. I kind of wish, at least in the second drop, there was a more melodic version of the first drop, and I wish there was more of that. But I did have myself repeating Far Away quite a bit throughout the summer while I was working. So I'm gonna put it for an A tier for now. Really good track from Slushy. I actually just listened to the Watch Your Back EP. Run Up was definitely a beautiful track. I really like that one. So Slushy's Far Away will go there. Desert Star, I'm actually going to have to put it for F tier. I've gotta say that at least with Desert Star, at this point I don't even expect much from Desert Star and still feel slightly let down, but I do feel like to a degree it's just because it's not my style of music, and in a sense it does feel rather repetitive at this point. The style, it's very predictable, it doesn't seem to differ much. I cannot tell any releases from each other. If you told me that one was Carissa, one was Edge of the World, and I think there was one more but I don't even remember it, I wouldn't know. I know some people have that exact same critique with Tokyo Machine, and I would just say that critique, but on Desert Star, is exactly how I feel about it. So that's why I'm gonna have to put that song on F tier. Next up we have Conroe again with Thrill of It, and the Thrill of It EP in general. I believe it was an EP, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not wrong, poggers. Alright, Thrill of It, I'm gonna put it for a B tier. It was a solid track, though if I did get to choose a song from the EP, I would have wanted Stars. Stars would have been an S tier for me. I really like Stars. I don't know, it was weird in a sense, and it's not necessarily because I don't like Conroe's vocals, though I do realize now that Stars is the only track off the EP without vocals. I just really like the direction of Stars, and I think it would have been interesting to have a vocal mix of Stars. Just a Gent, easy S tier. One of the greatest debuts this year alone on Instinct, and I love Just a Gent. I was excited to hear that he was going to be on the label. Just a Gent for S tier. I've shared this song with a bunch of my friends and they loved it, and I think that's something to say. I know a lot of people always seem to struggle for some reason with sharing Monstercat or EDM in general with their friends. Just a Gent, great addition, wouldn't have it any other way. Throttle's Daydreamer, Dreamin' of Away. We're gonna put it for B tier? I'm gonna put it for B tier for now. I would say borderline A tier, but doesn't quite make it, at least at the moment. Throttle, that is, I think if someone said it was I cannot speak. It's taken him 6 years, 6 or 5 years since his last track, which makes him the artist on Monstercat with the biggest gap between releases. And I think his return was a great return. I don't think anyone even anticipated it to be in that style, because I remember he made a lot more harder music, and there's a lot also his music on Spinnin' that most people know him for. So Throttle with his new EP was definitely a nice direction in another way. Going into our next row of tracks, we've got ourselves the collaboration between Trevecta, Amity, and Rory with Riptide. Gonna have to put Riptide. See, I think I would have put him for E tier, right? But I recently re-listened to it, and I think my opinion of it has grown a bit, so I'm actually going to put Riptide at D tier. This song just kind of seems overly happy, if that makes sense. It might be in the way of the melodies and the chord structures. Needless to say, it wasn't really my kind of feeling for Trevecta, and I also am anticipating Amity to make harder music. I don't really know when or if that is going to happen, because off of his remix from Dream in Color and his collaboration with AU5, I am kind of, I don't know, I'm waiting for Amity to just come in with a killer solo. But aside from that, yeah, that's my comments for Riptide. Next up we have Kuro's Can We Be Free. I'm gonna have to put that for A tier. I had that on repeat for a while. I don't know why, but for some reason I was getting Post Malone vibes. I don't know if anyone else got that, and I feel like Post Malone is an odd choice of person to get vibes from. But I felt like, you know, this is something I could listen to on the radio. This is a song I had on repeat for a while, so it was a good track. Next up we have is Kill Paris. This is a song that has a very, very unique style, a very unique sound. I'm going to put it for A tier for now. I don't know why, I felt like this should have been S tier for me, but it didn't really quite reach the S tier ranking. But what I will give Kill Paris is it was produced very well. I feel like the choice of vocalists that he had for that song was A+. Could not have chosen a better person to sing that song. So for Kill Paris, I give him many kudos for that. Going on to the Grant Wishes EP, we have ourselves Contagious. I don't really know how I felt about Contagious. I felt like Contagious didn't really quite hit the mark for me, but it wasn't bad. I will put it for C tier. I do still feel like, at least with Color was definitely S tier. I still have yet to listen to another Grant song that is hit different, or hit the same, I should say, as Color. Wishes, I remember I put it as A tier for Instinct Volume 3, so I feel like Contagious is a solid middle ground for C tier. Oh my goodness, Sunscreen was the song that I didn't really care about until it got memed to death within my friend group. Something about how I thought it was a Honda XD LMFAO. So we're actually going to put Sunscreen as a unironic B tier. I remember I probably would have ranked it lower, but I've ended up listening to it so much that I unironically started liking it quite a bit. Sunscreen for B tier. Album cover is very questionable, but we're going to keep it as such. Next up we have Just a Gent again. I'm going to have to put Open Spaces. Let's put him for A. I would say A is a solid ranking for Open Spaces. Doesn't quite reach S tier, but it was still a solid song. And what I kind of really liked about it, in a sense, is that Just a Gent managed to make a song that doesn't really go anywhere, but still manages to have a nice sort of packaging to it. You know, there's songs that don't go anywhere and it feels like a disappointment, but with Just a Gent, he managed to make it in a sense where it doesn't go anywhere, but it's not disappointing that it doesn't go anywhere. So kudos to Just a Gent for that. Dumu makes good music. That's all I've got to say. Talk, I will have to put him for A, B. No, I'm going to put it for A. I had A for S tier. I ended up overplaying it to death, so I don't love it as much. Still an amazing song, and I'll tell you why I'm okay with putting Talk for A tier. Because Blinded, S tier, easy S tier. I'm not even gonna wait. Blinded, S tier. Blinded, S plus tier. Best song of 2019, sorry, what am I saying? Is it best song? I don't know if it's best song, but I'm happy to put it for S tier, and I don't think people will stop me from saying that. I feel like the entire EP, to be honest, would be S tier if I could like rank EPs, though Interlude, I would have to put it to like C tier, but I mean, who's gonna fight me with that? XD. Alright, so we're back with Vicetone, and at least with Ran Out of Reasons, when I was listening to it for the first time, I had my hopes pretty high up. It sounded really good, the vocalists were really nice. And I keep saying this, but the drop kind of sounds like Vicetone just discovered 3x Oscillator. I don't really know if that's the best description, but that's kind of how I felt like with the very weird choice of lead. Though I don't want to make the drop to be a reason to completely, downplay it, because I do believe it's probably one of Vicetone's best tracks on the label. Whether that's a high margin to beat or a low one, you guys can decide. Maybe not the best one, but it would be on the upper half of their discography on Monstercat. So I'm going to put it for a B tier, unapologetically. Disero's Thinking About You is a song I kind of don't really care for, so I'm going to put it for E tier. It was a song I actually got to listen to while I was in Vancouver, in the Compound. And it was a song that I think I had high hopes for, and I was really hyped. It was a song that I had very strong association with good memories, but when it came to release, it didn't quite hit the same. So I'm going to put it for E tier. Nothing bad on Disero or Bertie Scott, just kind of didn't really feel it. Luther has been absolutely on fire this year, and that is not to say anything different with Fabulous. Easy S tier. I'm really happy with this song. I feel like Luther has not necessarily made a song that has ever made me feel like it wasn't a great track, or at least well produced. There are songs I think that Luther probably made that I was like, I didn't vibe with it, but it was still a well done track, and I could acknowledge that and respect it. Fabulous, S tier, no questions asked. Blink 182 is a song that I would say is very different for Half an Orange, because while Half an Orange has usually made more chill pop songs, this has felt more like an EDM song than the rest of their music, and I think that's a pretty interesting take and a good thing to say about it. Though I do feel kind of the same, I suppose, with Thinking About You. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna put it for D tier for now. So I would still say it's a good track. I would defend that it was a well-produced track, just not really my cup of tea. So I'm gonna put it for D tier for now. Now Cobra, on the other hand, is a track that I got to listen to not only at Compound but live at Compound while Tails was playing, and it slapped. And when it came out, it still slapped. Not S tier, but I will put it for A tier. It's a good track. I would say that if Tails is going to keep doing this, where he only releases like one song a year, but it's a slapper, same like Ghosted, I'm okay with that. And it's a good track. We've got Cold Ground by Direct and Matt Van, which is an okay track. I don't think it's bad. I don't necessarily think it's amazing either, but I am looking forward to the Direct EP that is coming out next week, at least next week as of recording this video. I'm going to put it for C tier. There is one track that is coming, and I don't remember what it's called, but what I do remember is that it reminded me a lot of Gene Jones and Equalize Dark Matter. If any of you know that song, it's a very weird song, but I really like it, and it reminds me of that song, so I'm looking forward to it. I wonder if any of you can guess it. I feel like if you guys listen to Dark Matter, you'll be able to understand what I'm saying. We have Japan, and Japan is a pretty alright song. I feel like it's, in a sense, it's a bit weaker than other songs that he has on his EP, but what I am going to do is I am going to put it for D tier, because, okay, I'm going to put it for C tier. I'm going to put it for C tier, alright? Don't kill me. C tier. I'll tell you why. Like I said with Open Spaces, it was a song that in a sense kind of didn't feel like it was going anywhere, and I don't think Throttle was able to encapsulate and take that to his advantage as much as, say, Just A Gent. But I do like the song. I think it was done well, so I'm going to put it for C tier. We have Conra with What's Love, which was an interesting song. It was a song that they used to preview their Instinct Volume 3 merch, though I didn't really enjoy it as much, so I'm going to put it for D tier. Again, because it was a good song, didn't quite like it as much, so I'm going to put it for D tier. Sorry, not even going to bother explaining as I already did, but Desert Star can go to my F tier. We've got ourselves another Cloud None, and I felt like I might have went into Anonymous with my hopes a bit too high. I think at the beginning I would have put it for S tier, but I am going to put it to B tier for now. It's a song I do like. Though, and I said this in Twitch chat when Direct was hosting, I definitely think Cloud None should collaborate with AU5. And I feel like any of you who have listened to AU5's chill and ambient stuff would agree with me after listening to Anonymous. So, let's see if we can make it happen. We have our two Pegboard Nerds tracks. We've got Solo and Crying Shame. Here's what I'm going to do. Solo is going to be my easy S tier. It's a song that I really like. It's a song that I had on repeat, and it's a song that I didn't expect Pegboard Nerds to come out with, but is one that I'm happy it came out. As for Crying Shame, it felt like a bit disappointing, and it did have that Pegboard Nerds TM style, but it wasn't really, I don't think it was done well. I think it was pretty weird. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put it for E tier. We're down to our 3 final tracks. We've got ourselves Fowler and Bridges with Suspicious. Now, I know a lot of people were not quite happy with my ranking of Hot, so I'm hoping that this can be our redemption arc in where I show you guys that I'm not completely heartless, and I'm going to actually put Suspicious for A tier. I really liked Suspicious. As always, Fowler, much love for sharing stems. You deserve that A tier spot. And yeah, let's go on to the next track. We're down to our final 2. We've got ourselves the 3rd Throttle track, which is, I believe, Bloom. Now, I feel like this is going to be a bit of an unpopular opinion. I know a lot of people were extremely looking forward to Throttle coming back, but I didn't quite feel the EP. I don't know. I felt like a lot of it lacked something, whether it be punch, whether it felt not full, if that even makes sense. It kind of felt like the songs were a bit flat. But I did like Bloom. I'm going to put it for C tier. A nice middle ground once again for Bloom. We're down to our final track, which is Offline, and a great way, I think, to end off the album this year. I'm not going to put it for S tier. I am going to put it for A tier. I did like it a lot, though it started kind of, I think where I felt a bit odd was the vocals in it. Was a bit weird, and I'm not talking about lyrics, because I know a lot of people had a bit of a issue with the lyrics towards Mac Miller. But I kind of just felt like the vocals on the track didn't really fit the instrumental, which is why I'm actually, despite, I guess, such a large criticism, I'm still willing to put Offline for A tier. But yeah, I guess this is my final tier list ranking. I'm going to do some quick rearranging before the end. So we're going to put Vicetone to F tier, Conroe to E tier, Cloud None to E tier, Medusa to E tier, Bloom to D tier, Slushy to B tier, Potions to D tier, and you know what? It's starting to look like this is probably going to be my final tier list for Instinct Volume 4. So let's quickly rearrange everything back together. And yeah, I guess this is my list. I hope this wasn't too long of a video, but if you guys actually enjoyed this more longer styled video than the last one, then let me know in the comment section down below, and I'd be down to, do more talking. I can talk for probably hours, but, most people don't have that time of day. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to see you all in the next video. Tell me how wrong or correct my opinion is down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.